Welcome back, everyone. Today's explainer is going to completely reframe the way you look at your plate. We're moving way, way beyond that tired old calories in, calories out mindset. Instead, we're going to reveal the hidden mechanics of cellular repair, the microscopic healers living inside your food, and the fascinating biological logic baked right into ancient dietary laws. By the end of this, you'll see your food not just as fuel, but as a profound transfer of information. All right, let's look at our roadmap. We are covering the biological baseline, the psychology of fat loss, triggering cellular repair, cultivating a living gut, nature's most extreme nutrition, and finally, hidden rules in ancient wisdom. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The biological baseline, when the engine runs empty. We're starting with the invisible crisis of deficiencies. So I really want you to think about this for a second. Consider the subtle, creeping symptoms of a body that is literally starved of raw materials. You might be eating 3 square meals a day, right? But your cells, they could be running on pure fumes. And the terrifying part about these deficiencies is that they develop so quietly. You might brush off the symptoms as just being stressed out, completely unaware that your body has been running on empty for months. Just listen to this cascade of system failures. Without protein, your body actually starts eating its own muscle tissue just to keep vital organs going, and fluid leaks into your tissues, causing edema. If you cut out essential fats, hello, brain fog and hormone chaos. Roughly 60% of your brain is made of fat. Miss out on vitamins, and you're looking at night blindness or even scurvy. Yes, the literal pirate disease. Without minerals like iron, you might develop anemia or this really bizarre condition called PECA, where your body actually craves eating dirt or chalk just to find those missing nutrients. And water, a mere 1 to 2% drop, and your concentration completely vanishes. The biochemical baseline to fix all of this is a diverse diet of nutrient-dense whole foods. Think avocados, blueberries, wild salmon.
Moving right along to Section 2, the psychology of fat loss, the monkey's method. Let's look at a remarkably simple high satiation philosophy taught by a pretty unlikely source, a Spanish bodybuilding monkey known as monoculturista. Okay, so this monoculturista logic is all about making fat loss absolutely effortless by just refusing to suffer. First up, eliminate temptation entirely. Delete those food delivery apps. Seriously, get rid of them. If the monkey doesn't see the food, he doesn't eat it. Second, focus on compound exercises. We're talking squats and deadlifts that demand massive energy, not those tiny isolation movements. Third, rely on high-volume, high-satiety superfoods, things like Greek yogurt, chicken, and lentils. They keep you completely full while keeping your calories low. And finally, active play. Don't just stare at a treadmill wall. Go play a sport with friends. You're burning calories silently while having a blast.
Now consider the number 9,000. That is the exact amount of calories you save in a single month just by skipping one 300-calorie sugary coffee drink every day. Think about that. Without ever stepping foot in a gym, that one tiny daily habit change translates to roughly 1 kilogram of pure fat burned quietly in the background. It's a total game changer.
Section 3. Triggering cellular repair. The autophagy activators. Let's see how this all builds into something incredible at the microscopic level. We've got to talk about autophagy. Think of it as your body's ultimate internal cleanup crew. It sweeps right through your cells, clearing out damaged debris and aging proteins. Usually, this cleanup crew is locked away while we're fed, just waiting for hour 12 of a fast to begin working. But science shows this system can actually be hacked. This is where it gets super interesting. Certain food compounds act as biochemical keys to unlock autophagy even when you aren't starving. Take black coffee. The chlorogenic acid in it directly activates your AMPK energy sensor, but the critical word here is black. If you add even a single drop of milk, you trigger an insulin response that slams that autophagy window shut instantly. No way around it. Then you have cold extra virgin olive oil. It contains oleocanthal, which suppresses mTOR, basically mimicking expensive longevity drugs. But heat destroys it instantly. It has to be cold. We also have EGGC in green tea, curcumin in turmeric, which, by the way, requires black pepper to boost its absorption by 2,000%, and spermidine in wheat germ and aged cheese, which directly unlocks repair genes. All right, Section 4. Cultivating a living gut, the microscopic ecosystem. From the individual cell, we're zooming out to the gut.
There is a massive, stark contrast between genuine, ancient fermentation and what I like to call modern supermarket imposters. Authentic fermented foods are literally alive. Real sourdough undergoes a long fermentation where wild yeast and bacteria pre-digest the gluten and break down phytic acid.
Raw aged cheeses are packed with vitamin K2, MK7, which does this amazing thing where it pulls calcium out of your arteries and puts it right back into your bones. But modern commercial equivalents, they're mostly pasteurized, dead foods. Supermarket pickles and fake sourdoughs often just use added vinegar for a sour taste, which means they've killed off all the live cultures that provide the actual health benefits. Part 5 brings us to nature's most extreme nutrition, the apex diet. Out in the wild, apex predators do not eat the steak first. They go straight for the organs. The difference in nutrient density here is just absurd. Standard muscle meat has about 2 micrograms of vitamin B12. Beef liver? 70. Gram for gram, liver is basically nature's multivitamin. It stores immense energy reserves. It's so potent, in fact, that a polar bear's liver is packed with so much concentrated vitamin A that eating it is literally toxic to humans. Let's rapid fire through these other hidden healers. The heart is packed with QQ10, literally feeding your cells power plants. And what about kidneys? Actually, let's debunk a massive myth right now. Kidneys are blood filters. They are not toxin storage bags. They're incredibly rich in selenium and B vitamins. Tongue is actually a deeply tender, high-zinc muscle. Tripe is super high protein, and while the brain is extremely dense in omega-3s, it's highly regulated for a good reason, due to the very real, severe risks of prion diseases like mad cow. Finally, Section 6, Hidden Rules and Ancient Wisdom, the Logic of Taboos. Let's impartially explore the fascinating biological and historical frameworks hidden deep inside Islamic dietary laws. According to the sources, there's an incredibly precise line drawn between what is halal, or permissible, and haram, forbidden. It bans all fanged beasts and birds of prey with talons, so your lions, wolves, eagles. Biologically speaking, apex predators absorb and accumulate heavy metals and parasites from every single creature they eat. Conversely, non-hunting birds like chickens and ducks are totally fine. There's also a really fascinating social logic here. Wild donkeys are halal to hunt, but domestic donkeys are entirely forbidden. This is explicitly to grant dignity and protection to the animals that live alongside humans and carry their burdens. Then we have the pig, which is classified in Islamic law as rijs, meaning impure. From a strict biological standpoint, the pig spends its life eating waste, and its muscle tissue frequently harbors an invisible parasite called Trichinella spiralis. The crazy thing about this parasite, it cannot be killed by traditional smoking or salting. Furthermore, modern research indicates that roughly 10% of commercial pork today actually carries the hepatitis E virus, which directly attacks the liver. But here's the real kicker. Modern processing hides these violations in plain sight. Islamic law strictly forbids insects, with the sole exception of the locust, since it only eats plants. Yet today, cricket powder is quietly being added to modern European baked goods. Or consider intoxicants. The rule is that anything that intoxicates in large amounts is forbidden, even in a single drop. That beautifully innocent-looking sushi roll? The rice is traditionally prepared with mirin, a cooking wine packing 10 to 14% alcohol. And in Western supermarkets, electric stunning often kills animals before the traditional required cut is ever made, which completely voids the halal status. So, what's the big takeaway from all of these sources? From cellular biology all the way to ancient theology. It's perfectly summarized by the historical Islamic scholar Ibn Qayyim. Food is not just fuel. It's a profound transfer of information, of microscopic ecosystems, and of history straight into your very cells. And that wraps up our explainer for today. But before you go, I want to challenge you. The next time you sit down to eat, really look at your plate. What invisible mechanisms, what living microbes, or what ancient wisdom is hiding right there in plain sight? Thank you so much for joining us, and stay curious.